friend is coming soon. I greet you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator.
My fellow subscribers, YouTube has started to shut down channels that don't agree with their views and blaming their decision on their guidelines. This is the highest form of censorship controlled by the cabal to keep us from knowing the truth. There has been several channels terminated by their so-called violation of their guidelines, including our sister channel, Event is Coming Soon, and 3 other sister channels of ours. We feel it's a matter of time before they create a violation of their guidelines to shut this channel down. We have created a channel on Daily Motion, which is an alternative to YouTube. Please go to dailymotion.com and subscribe and view our videos as well. Tell your friends also that we have our new channel, The Event is Coming Soon, on dailymotion.com. Let's unite and keep this very important channel alive. Victory of the Light.
Saying no to reincarnation and regaining your freedom. How is forgetting helpful to one's growth? How does something horrible happening to you due to misdeeds from a past life teach you anything when you have no memory of what you did? How can you balance the scales when you have no idea what's on the other side? But yet you keep reincarnating over and over again and accumulate more and more lessons to learn from these past lives. So now you have all of these lessons you need to learn, but you get to have zero memory of failing any tests to begin with. It makes no sense at all. Yes, our lives are blinks in the big scope of everything, and our life purpose is experience, as all is just the prime creator experiencing itself in infinite manyness. So having 100 reincarnated lives in a row is nothing in the big scope of existence. Even the so-called forgetting could be chalked up as just another way of source experiencing itself. However, there is no way of getting around the fact that forgetting hinders progress. Forgetting hinders the ability to turn knowledge into wisdom. Now if you have an open mind and want to take a look at this rabbit hole, here is a theory as to why reincarnation happens. It is no secret to those who have looked beyond what they have been told and realized there appears to be a control game on Earth. The elite, the Anunnaki, Illuminati, Archons, Cabal, Draco-Reptilians, as well that written in ancient/sacred texts. Whatever you look at or however you look at it, it all points to certain groups of beings that strive for ultimate power, wealth, control, and nowadays it would appear that those in control keep us dumbed down by psychic attacks, feeding us false information, poisoning our water, food, and medicines, maintaining manipulation with mainstream media, and teaching us lessons of inaccurate history while keeping the majority of the people just able-bodied enough to work their lives away to make those already on top even more rich and more powerful, while others are used as pawns to get certain points across. It appears the aim is for people to remain asleep enough to not look within or any further than what their government, school, and media are telling them to believe. We always have someone to listen to, someone to follow, something to do to distract us. It is part of the agenda to think we need their help, purposely creating countless situations for us to think there is someone to fight, something else that needs to be worked on, something else is wrong. This gets the majority of people to essentially agree to the problems, and through which, by agreeing to the problems, we basically agree to sell ourselves to serve their greatest interests, to fight their battles, and never serve our own individual highest goods, but rather the illusion of it. As long as the world is a scary place and people think that we need Big Brother's help and his protecting, people will continue to work for an agenda and a false belief system, and not for themselves. And that's why so many people never find themselves or start really remembering who they are at the core of their being. They've lost themselves by serving and helping everyone but themselves, believing it is what they must do. People buy into this duality of good versus evil. They buy into the illusion and utterly forget that they are sovereign. We are above and greater than everything we've been conditioned to believe on this planet. We are spiritual beings. We are creators. We are directly connected to Source. Through Source we know that all is one, and it is through this knowing that we open our awareness to our innately infinite potentials of energy. The energy of our essence of our souls is pure, and we create it by just being, and those behind the curtain need such energy to sustain themselves since they have so far removed themselves from Source. They create situations to take ours away in ways both seen and unseen, since they cannot create their own energy like we do. They take our power away to make themselves more powerful. The more you look into it, as crazy as it sounds, one cannot help but see puzzle pieces fall into place. These days, it appears as more people awaken, the more we will see destruction, disaster, and false panic in such ways to create the additional energies needed to feed on and take power from, and in attempts to make us go on thinking that we need their help and saving. Thing is, we don't need anyone to save us. We save ourselves. These tragedies that may come to happen, won't continue forever. Consciousness is changing. It has to, as the only thing constant is change. It is through this saving of ourselves, through this awakening and expanding of consciousness, that we help to save others as well. In actuality, us saving others is just showing them they can save themselves. The more that scale tips in favor of self-realization, the more these old systems will collapse and die off, and the veils put in place will fall further away. Once people on a large scale realize who and what they really are in this very convincing illusion, they cannot go back to sleep, and this is happening more and more than ever before. So what happens when 5D consciousness inhabits a 3D/4D material Earth and just enough of her inhabitants? Well, this is the shift or the new Earth we've been hearing about. This is how we win. Okay, back to reincarnation. Think about this. Most people with near-death experiences talk about seeing a white light, a tunnel, spirit guides, angels, loved ones. It all feels so familiar. Many say they are shown a movie of sorts of their lives where they experience things from other perspectives and are overcome with such guilt and really do want to have another chance at another life to make it right. Hence we agree to reincarnate and therefore agree to this effed-up earth reality. That is how they get away with not violating free will. They use their tricks of the light to convince us of having these feelings of remorse and get us to agree to their rules in order for us to go back and make things right. We go back again and often in groups. This is where soul families come from and why it is so important for soul families to awaken and work together, to create collectives and expand them as morphogenetic fields of thought containing similar vibration/frequency, which allows more people and soul families to tap into it, allowing our fields to connect and fill and surround the planet. Once we are back on Earth, we can change roles from mom to daughter, sister to grandpa, school teacher to neighbor, and so on, and experience the other perspective so we can balance our karma. So not only do we agree to come back after being deceived with lights and loved ones, we often come back at lower advantages and extra struggles to pay some karma back, but that in all reality it just creates further separation and more hard times, since you don't remember why you here or what the hell you supposed to do. The weaker and more confused you are, especially mentally and spiritually, the easier you are to control. So those in control now have more low vibrations and negative energies to feed on to keep them going and further push their agenda. They can remain in control of all their energy source slave batteries who work for them, and they are getting us to agree to it. We may not see the bars and seemingly have space to roam, but they know that if we could see the bars we would be far less productive, so it is set up in a way that we think we free, we think we are making the choices. But more often than not, people in general aren't working in their own personal and spiritual best interests. They have quite simply been tricked into thinking they are just another mindless cog in the wheel, or turn that forgetfulness into greed, or do their best to commit no sin, but yet all are made to forget who they truly are, often having series of unfortunate events happening to serve to keep them feeling lost or defeated or in need of one more dollar or acquisition or in need of some kind of help, or are always waiting for something all the while at the same time are being sprinkled with just enough victories to keep them going and working. But working for and toward what? Perhaps we should ask ourselves, who am I working for and what am I working toward? Along with, who is really benefiting from my work? Most people are beat down and tired long before any finish line appears and come back to do the same thing over and over without any end in sight. Except for those handful of ascended masters, it just seems pretty strange and indicates something must be suffocating, something that more of us are not waking up to this level of awareness that is already innately ours to begin with. What could possibly do that? Mass manipulation over many generations. It is very easy to see how the cycle of reincarnation can easily happen under such conditions and why it is time for mass awakening. The end of reincarnation can end either individually or collectively, and this liberation comes from simply remembering who and what we are. I don't ask anyone to just blindly believe this. If it resonates, it resonates. The proof is to simply take this information with you at the time of your physical death. Choose to not go to the light, which seems to be nothing more than deception. A trick of the light as a reflection of the trick of consciousness in this world, and knowing you as the powerful spark of divine source you are, make the choice to reunite with your highest self/oversoul and choose where you wish to go. We are each a part of the infinite many-ness of Prime Source here at this time to experience this spark of divinity within human bodies. Within that space, we also have free will and the power of manifestation and creation. That is a beautiful thing. Therefore, because I know who I am, I know I would never choose to reincarnate on a dualistic planet with absolute amnesia to balance shit I don't remember anything about. I would never choose to do multiple rounds on a planet where people are being intentionally poisoned, killed, starved, raped, tortured, manipulated, animals and wildlife abused, to be born as a number sequence, to go to schools where you are forced to accept someone else as truth and graded on it as a basis of your future worth, and from there go to work for paper money for nearly the rest my life to pay for stuff I don't even need, to make someone else rich and have more influence over what I say, wear, do, eat, drink, etc., to finally grow old riddled with disease and sickness on more pills that I can count that only serve to mask my symptoms instead of curing my illness. This is total madness. Perhaps that in fact is the whole point of it all here, but it is not my point. It isn't me, and I have a feeling it isn't most of us either. And perhaps that's exactly why we are here. To wake up and say no, this isn't okay, and show others how to as well, simply through our example and by sharing, but not forcing, our truth. Of course stuff can be enjoyed while we are here, but it may be crucial to remember it's all ultimately worthless, as none it can be taken with us. The story of detachment, enjoy it, but know you don't need it. But sadly, too many people are distracted by a whole plethora of shiny things, and this is what ultimately keeps those in control going and their traps still working. What we can do is gain knowledge and turn it into wisdom, partner that wisdom with spirituality and take our power back. Wake up from the illusion and make our own choices. The game board may still be on the table, but we don't have to play it. However, we should learn the rules of the earth game aspect of this current reality so that such rules can be properly broken. Let us share that with others too, in addition to all the love and light. To sum it up, it has like this. If everyone is doing it, it makes me take less interest in it because I find it to be less original and genuine. If everyone walked that path, it makes me less likely to want to take it as my own. If everyone believes this certain thing to be true, then I am most likely to want to investigate why. So if everyone over the years seems to be told to go to the light, then I am going to be more inclined to want to turn around and see what all my options are, and I hope you do too. Thank you.
If you like our channel, please subscribe and click the bell to be notified of our new videos. Feel free to share on your social media. Thanks for watching. See you next time.